today we're going to be looking at the top 10 players in each position. Now, it's very difficult once you get past like number 5, I'd say, because then you've got arguments across the board of some people prefer a different centre mid, maybe they like more of a defensive one that has a little bit more of attack, and it kind of depends on what you clarify, and maybe a winger needs to be just only pace, no dribbling, maybe they like the trickster playstyle plus. So I've gone with my personal list. Let me know down below what you think. Now the keepers we're going to run through pretty quickly because you could go with so many arguments here, so I'm just going to literally blast through these. There's not really any point with stats because everybody's at a decent level. We've got Pickford at number 10. I think he's decent enough, but he's only okay in my opinion. We then got Donnarumma just in front of him. I think he's a solid keeper, but not quite the rest, not quite as good as the rest in my opinion. 9. Then we've got Dudek. Actually quite surprised with him. We've used him on the second account for the Road to Glory, and he's done pretty well so far. We're not really giving him his main debut just yet, so it's mainly because I've got the number 1 keeper in my opinion. Then we've got Casillas. Absolutely love him. He is just unbelievable. We got him as like the 4th or 5th upgrade to my keepers from this year, and he has been fantastic, so he definitely puts himself in the slot. If you're looking for coins to improve your team, head over to lootbar.gg for the most reliable and also the best coins around. Also, they have incredible 24-hour manual customer service that you physically cannot find anywhere else. But before finishing on lootbar.gg, make sure you are using JT11 to get 8% off coupon. Once you've gone through the payment, you'll be able to get your coins within the next 24 hours, absolutely guaranteed. Also, with the code, you'll be able to get 5% more coins on every transaction. Make sure you do click the link either in the description or down in the comment section below. Now, what was that? That was 1, 10, 9, 8, 7. 6 is Alisson. I think he's unbelievable as always. Always solid. Team of the season, team of the year, it doesn't matter. Obviously, I'll go with the team of the year. It's 1 rating higher, but I don't think it really matters too much for him personally because it is all about the keeper itself. Whenever you're looking at a keeper, if you've got like a 93 variant, a 95, a 96, or even a 92, they play very similar. Like, there is very little ups and downs between them. Yes, it looks better always, and you'll have maybe more of a perception that a 99 rated keeper should always do better, and sometimes that can be the case, but I don't think in Alisson's case it really matters heavily. We then have ter Stegen. I think he's a wonderful addition. It is a shame that he didn't get an upgrade at all. He's not even playing, unfortunately, to him, so he's not going to get any more, but I do think he was a great keeper. From his inform now up to this 95, I think he's definitely a great addition into it. We have Oblak, very similar. Again, with him, he is obviously time remaining. What is it time remaining? Is he alone? It's very weird. But I believe Slovenia are through, so technically he could get something, I want to say, because they're not going to give him a playstyle plus. I'm pretty sure he might get another rating upgrade, but I don't think they've won 1 yet, so he's not really going to get anything just yet until he at least gets the win and then potentially gets into the quarterfinals. But I think he's just slightly better than ter Stegen at this moment in time. Upgrades could change everything though. We then have Petr Cech. Think he's fantastic. He's one of them keepers that definitely grew on me. I think they changed him, to be honest. I am strongly believing that they definitely amended this card, because to start with it, you had a card that, to be honest, when he first came out, I didn't think he was that good, to be fair to him. Then it came like a month or 2 later, and suddenly Cech started kind of picking up again. So happens that an SBC did come around, but it just made me think, well, hold on a second. I remember in Team of the Year, he was not touched at all. Now suddenly, he's a bit of a decent keeper, to be honest. We then have Van der Sar as the number 2 slot. I think he has been beaten out, and it is a shame, but I think with the more that I'm playing with the number 1 keeper at the minute, I think Van der Sar just slightly drops back into that number 2 role, and I do think, for me at this moment in time, Schmeichel has been unbelievable. Like I said, it might be rating bias, it could be completely, but I do think for me, Schmeichel has been unbelievable, and he has got the 97. Denmark, I believe, are going through on the best third team, I want to say. I can't remember if they have completely solidified that or not, but if they have, then there is obviously another chance that they do get an upgrade for him, and I think it would be a 99 stat rather than another upgrade, because I'm pretty sure it was +1 for 2 goals, and then it's either a playstyle plus or a 99 stat, which would be obviously for Schmeichel in himself. Then we go on to the left backs. I'm going to start off with Baka. I think again she's kind of coming in as nostalgic from her 90, to be fair to her. We've managed to get her red. I've kind of given the blue version a little bit of a go. We got the red kind of recently, to be fair, after a champs, and I thought she was decent enough. Now, we have got 9 other players ahead, so obviously when it comes to the 10th, 9th and 8th spot, you might be thinking, how on earth are they 10? Like, why are we talking about these people? Because obviously there's so many top end cards, it's unbelievable. Like, even I think every position in the top 10, if you had number 10 slot in every position, you are still pretty fine on this game. We then have Grimaldo. I think he's a wonderful left back. He probably has been my left back for a while until we did get the number 1 spot again, which I'm very, very fortunate because we managed to actually pack him as well. But Grimaldo, lovely upgrade. I think since the Frimpong and obviously the Theo Hernandez upgrades from Team of the Year, they've increased the left backs massively. Like, we've really got a big upgrade in left back and right backs, which never happened before. If you remember the Team of the Years, even some of the Team of the Seasons, from the Marcelo, the Dani Alves, to the even to the Trent and Robertson era, they just was never high rated, and now suddenly we've got some big upgrades coming in. We obviously have DeMarco next up. Even though he's a left mid, he's a left back. Like, they may have pitched him in to be more of a left mid in this. Head accuracy is not as much, but you whack something defending physical on him, you don't need any pace, you are absolutely laughing with him. He's still got his whipped pass, his block and his jockey. Fantastic card with still abilities to go up as well. Nuno Mendes puts himself 1 above. I like this card. I think he's not worth the grind in my opinion, especially with the Argentinian team if you did manage to do him, but I think he's a good left back regardless. Obviously the paywall, the SBC, the objective isn't going to come in the way of the top 10 list. It is what it is. There's literally other players around him that you can be more than fine to have, to be honest with you. Then we move up to Sakina. I think a brilliant left back. She started the game off strong with a great inform. She's only progressed even more, and getting that 97 was a fantastic deal for her. Very, very good stats across the board. 99 on the pace, great dribbling. Then you whack a chemistry style on the defending physical. She's got the whipped pass, the rapid and the block. Beautiful card. But we have had a few more. Now, Havertz, this is purely because it's the one evolution that I know everybody has either had at one point, has done an SBC, or has at least tried him at left back. This, not the centre mid version, so there's no point looking at this one because obviously he can play left back, but he's the SBC for the centre mid. I'm talking about like the winter wildcard with the evolution upgrade was phenomenal. Now, he's not my number 1 spot by any means, but I do think as a special card, winter wildcard out of position, what a card that has been in my opinion. We move up to Alphonso Davies. Beautiful 95 again, managed to come in clutch. He obviously is coming in as I want to say he's a path to glory rather than a make your mark, but a stunning left back as always. And it's kind of the same 3 or 4 in this top role. We've obviously got Capdevia next. In fact, he's not in the he's not always involved because this is his first upgrade, and what an upgrade he got. Quick step, relentless, jockey and whipped pass with his beautiful quadruple playstyle plus. The card is just absolutely elite. I would be happy with any of like the top 3, top 4 cards in this left back role. We then also have Team of the Season Theo Hernandez, one of the better left backs we've seen all year round. I do think there's only one card that has ever beaten him on price, but has ever really kind of put himself in that number 1 spot. And I think Theo is as close to first as you can be. But Ferland Mendy is Ferland Mendy. He is an absolute dynamite. He has the ability to go up again. I don't think he's going to get the full upgrade at this point because he isn't really starting. So that's going to be a big one on obviously the 5 appearances. If he does manage to make the appearance, I don't know if he did in that final match, but we can obviously see if he has. I don't know if he will. It should show me here. I don't know why there's no additional information here. I think they've broken it. But he's got the first upgrade for the clean sheets, but he hasn't actually got the 5 appearances. And I think it's now impossible, or he might have to play from round of 16 all the way to the final, and France have to make the final to get it. So even at 97, I still think he's number 1. Then we go into the right back spots. So Carlos Alberto's coming in as number 10, and to be honest, that's a pretty good number 10 to start off with. It was mainly for him because he was always seen as a centre-back. And if you've seen the centre-back list, oh my, there's again so many centre-backs in this game that are reasonable in price as well. But Carlos Alberto, I think he's a standard card now. He's a very, very good icon if you can get him, but I think there is a lot of better options in my opinion. We go on to Battle's Team of the Season SBC. Beautiful upgrade if you manage to do her. Again, there's loads in front of her, but at the time of the SBC, she was definitely an upgrade for a lot of people. I think if there wasn't, I think I might have been doing R9 at this point, but if there wasn't necessarily loads of other SBCs, she'd have been a shoo-in to get done because she'd have definitely taken out whoever I had. I might have even had base Carfu at this point in my in my kind of journey through the main team. Now, I haven't put him at left back because I do like having a right-footed right back and a left-footed left back. So I've gone with a right back version of him. He can obviously play both, so that's absolutely fine. And I think he's absolutely wonderful in the role. He's what you get. He's always been that kind of player, even from the Man City Team of the Season days. He's always been solid. Never been, well, I mean, he could have potentially been a number 1 slot at one point, but he definitely is as consistent as you'd like him. We then have Carfu. Absolutely love him, and with the update, I know on Friday we're getting a crazy amount of very, very good greats of the games. Carfu's been announced, Cruyff, Matthias, R9. There's just a list of players that we're just not going to pack. But there is meant to be objectives and SBCs as well, so I'm hoping there is a decent amount coming, but Carfu's unbelievable. Just pinching it in front of him is going to be Klaus. I think Klaus has been unbelievable from the very start of this game. He's obviously had his road to the knockouts, the team of the tournament, and then into a team of the season. But the 95 definitely takes the cake in this. 99 on the pace, so you don't have to worry about the chemistry style. Anticipate, whipped pass, relentless. Beautiful card. Now, Trent is a different one because in terms of a complete right back, I like him, I don't love him, because I much prefer him in a centre mid. He's kind of that, what I've been always harping on with Lahm, with Petit, with somebody else like Zanetti. I much prefer them in the midfield. But Trent's stats really work. He's got the whipped pass still, he's got the intercept, and then he's got a bit of a long ball pass as well. So if you are the kind of that overlapping right back, I mean, he's going to do a job for you at the minimum. So I only had to put him in here because I don't think he takes over any centre mid roles either. So he's got to be mentioned at a 96 now. Absolutely brilliant. We have Jan Kuto. Lovely card. I loved his future star for... Oh no, it's his fantasy, I want to say, in fact. Pretty sure it's either one of them, but he managed to get the upgrade to like an 88, 89, something like that, and it was a very good for cheap card. Now we've got a beautiful Brazilian. I want to say this was a path to glory as well. I really wish that they'd upgrade that special item to what it actually is, but he's absolutely stunning. One to definitely look out for. I think the quadruple playstyle plus helps him because he's kind of that newer kind of putting himself in there. It's a breakthrough FIFA scene sort of card, and I think he does it perfectly. We have a 97 Carvajal as well. Never thought I'd see him at 97 rated. I don't think he's had a higher rated card. And yet he's been in the game for so long. And he's absolutely stuck the landing with this one. Great defending, great physical, good pace, passing's up there. It's an absolute stunner. But it doesn't take the top spot because there is two just in front of him. And now Walker, I think you could argue everything with him. I think with him personally, the Rapid Plus is brilliant for getting forward, sometimes a little bit lacking getting back. So I think it is just personally a recency bias with him. Maybe you could go Carvajal over him, but I do think it's the pace side of stuff that really takes Walker to that next level for me. But still, the number 1 slot for me is going to be Frimpong. I absolutely love this team of the season. I thought his team of the year was absolutely unreal. If you played him, you knew how good, how truly good this card is. And most definitely, this team of the season does not disappoint. We move into the centre-backs then. So, number 10 slot. I've gone with a Benusi. Now, I personally think he is a very decent card. Now, I could definitely argue that there is other cards out there that maybe do deserve that number 10 spot, but I do think with Bonucci, as the price comes in, using him on a road to glory, I think it was only right. The 10 slot is kind of a throwaway slot anyway, so we'll just go past it. Ramos most definitely is up there with the rest of them. Now, there is going to be arguments totally with centre-backs because there's so many different in fact, hold on. There was actually one centre-back that I completely forgot about over Bonucci. Of course, it's Bissek. And I was thinking then, I was like, hold on a sec, there is actually one player that totally deserves this more. Bissek may have dropped down in comparison to what he was when he first came out. When he first came out, he was the best, cheapest centre-back you could get. He wasn't a million coins yet. He wasn't nowhere near the absolute top rating. But his absolute form was just impeccable. Now, he is under Ramos still, so that's absolutely fine. I don't think there's anybody in the centre-back slot that I would probably take Bissek over. We move into Arejo. I think he's wonderful with his upgrades. He's looking likely to potentially get a decent upgrade in this as well. Whether Uruguay really fly forward or not, after doing a bit of research into Uruguay, they're not a terrible team. Most definitely can potentially produce some madness and really make Arejo up in them leaderboards. And I think he is coming in to absolutely stay. Bastoni, I think, is just impeccable. Great defending, great physical, very good pacing upgrade for him, and he's absolutely solid at the back, so I think he definitely keeps his role there. We have Ruben Diaz. This is where now the non-negotiables go, because you have got the absolute monsters of centre-backs. You've got Ruben Diaz, you've got Konate, you've got Konate again in icon form. Obviously, it's Vidic. Then you've obviously got Ella Militao, you've got Saliba, and you've got Virgil van Dijk. I don't think there's no arguments between them. I think you could argue kind of anybody from 2 to 5. Virgil is number 1 always will be, always has been. It's just how he's built. His body, his general makeup for FC24, and even the past 2-3 years of him being like 90 plus every time. He is the person in centre-back you will always keep. Now, obviously, when it comes to number 2 spot, I personally rate Saliba highly on this game, especially with the upgrade. I thought the team of the season was needed from that honourable mentions, and then most definitely this card is just blown everything out of the water. So for me, there's no argument with 2. Militao, I think, comes in as a very good representative for 3. He's got a good chance of going up. I know Brazil drew their first match, but there is still lots and lots of time for upgrades. Vidic, always been incredible. I think him, just in general, from that Galazzo portion, has been one of the most consistent centre-backs we've seen. And then Konate and also Diaz are kind of them throwaway, very, very top-end centre-backs if you've not got anybody above, in my opinion. Now with the midfield, we've tried to go 10 CDMs, 10 box-to-boxes, 10 cams. So it includes a lot of everybody. And to be honest, when you do get to the lower end of some of them, I think the centre-mids look the most appealing. But when it comes to like CDMs, as much as Stanway is a very good card, I don't see many people using her now, in my opinion. So we'll kind of go through a few of like the top 5. We've got Stanway, we've got Oberdorf, we've got Conte, we've got Ozcan, we've got Lema, and then we've got Adams. There's kind of like the first 6 in such. Now, when we look at the team of the seasons, they blew the water off it. Triple play style plus is added. Good rating increase. Everybody's got 90s everywhere. Happy days. Stanway did it. Oberdorf was incredible. She obviously had a team of the year anyway. Conte, beautiful upgrade. Loved the moments. I think in terms of the mixed league upgrade, I was kind of a bit like, do I like this? Do I like not having the minor leagues around, like the Prem and Championship, Liga, and somebody like, who's Liga normally go? Like Saudi or something, I suppose. Or then kind of what I was going for is La Liga and Liga Portugal. Something along them lines. It worked really well. Whereas actually with the moments, I think they did an absolute smashing job with it. I think there was not really too many cards left out. I maybe would have liked to have seen a big boy Benz at some point, but you can't get them all. We got Neymar, we got Ronaldo, Conte. You got pretty much everybody at that top level. Then you've obviously got a few of the newer cards, and I do think they just come in with some better stats in terms of a DM, pace, dribbling, passing. They're all absolutely up there, and there's only more room for them to upgrade. Austria have been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal, and I think it was going around that they're pound for pound the best team in terms of performances. again, incredible stuff, and that is the whole point of the Euros. So if we can see him go up, absolutely all to it. We have Tyler Adams, as I think this is a very underrated card and potential to go up as well, which is even better. The Copa America has only just started, so there is a lot of room for upgrades coming. Great pace, decent-ish shooting, like for an actual DM only, not bad. Obviously passing it's mainly the short and long, curve and crossing is dropping it down, and the free kick accuracy, I don't care about that. Dribbling phenomenal, great defensive ability and great physical as well. We move up to a cheeky petite, very nice upgrade. He's managed to get his 96 finally, as obviously France did draw their next match and haven't really scored that many. So for what we was expecting from France, I mean, it's understandable that they didn't have Mbappe in the second match and maybe not quite 100% in terms of we're having to wear the mask and all of that and managing to get a goal at least in that final one. We more than likely will see them in the round of 16 really start tearing it up. Then we have the lovely pairing of Rice and Rodri in terms of the second and third spot. I think them two are incredible in their own right and pretty much the same in every right from a team of the season. So it will be interesting to see, do we see anything better from them? And then the number one spot has to go to Tchouaméni. Beautiful card, very nice. Again, this one's a make your mark, so he has got the ability to go up, but I'm pretty sure a CDM counts as a midfielder still. I know sometimes they did like the CDM is kind of the defense, so he might have gone up with the 2 clean sheets, but he does need to get a 2 assists or 2 goals at the minimum. If they do manage to go quite far, he's been playing in quite a lot of them, so he should get them upgrades nice and quickly. Moving into the centre mid roles then, this is where it gets personally the favourite of mine. This is where everybody's team's really going. We have got Bentancur. Now, this is the 10th spot. Look at them stats. This is why I don't think you need a solid DM all the time. You can almost be, and it's how I like the end of the game, and it's funnily enough, it's where I get better because I like to attack and attack and attack. I hate possession play. I don't want to go on the counter. I don't want to drop back. I don't want to have to go down wings constantly. I want to push 6 men up and go for an all-blown attack in the 2nd, 5th, 10th, 20th minute. And obviously, when you're trying to play very tactical players, you get absolutely smashed. When it comes to having these sorts of cards, as long as you're not going against the absolute elite, because they still can absolutely smash you. But when you've got these cards, anything's possible. It's what they always say. When you have an SBC that comes out that is just incredible, you get Team of the Seasons, everybody gets them. So everybody has a little bit more of a chance. When they're kind of just like only the top 1% of people have an R9, an Mbappe, a Hullet, a Matthias, you're almost gatekeepered that, well, you're not going to have them. So the likely chance of you having that slight advantage is next to nothing. We move into Vitinha. Very good 5-star, 5-star. I think he's an absolute genius in this 96. We have De Jong as a 96 from the lovely Path to Glory. Netherlands maybe facing England in the round of 16. So there is good hope for them, I'd say. But I'm hoping that he kind of doesn't have that doesn't have that upgrade anymore, because I would definitely take England going forward more. McAllister, beautiful card. I think this Path to Glory is definitely one worth looking at. It's very expensive at like 1.6 mil, I think he was last time I checked, but a stunning card. He's still got ability to go up. Argentina are absolutely flying, 2 wins in the bag, and he most definitely is not slowing down anytime soon. Now we do have Toni Kroos, his end of an era that technically isn't available yet, but you just know full well if you've used any Toni Kroos how truly good this card will be. His passing ability and dribbling mixed with a shadow, an anchor, anything along them lines, or even just defending physical is going to be stunning. Same as Gerrard. Again, another card with the mix of the playstyle pluses, adding an anchor to him. You are going to get a wonderful box to box here. He's got the 99 shooting already, so you don't need anything there. Passing is pretty much up to the top anyway. He is going to be an elite level card, and still got the ability to get that 97 with the 4 playstyle pluses coming very soon. De Paul, I think, is definitely shown enough in my opinion. Again, another card that can go up to the absolute masses, very much like his partner in the middle with Enzo, who can do it, but I do think Enzo just comes that little bit short in like number 11, 12 or 13 role, but I do think De Paul comes in with a beautiful card. But Pedri definitely beats him out in my opinion. I think Pedri, again, is one of them cards that is very annoying that they didn't just upgrade that shooting and defending. We saw it with his road to the final or team of the tournament. I can't remember which one it was, but it was pace, dribbling and passing, no physical, literally no shooting or defending, and it just wasn't abysmal. Whereas at least now, I think you could go and get that up. I think it's a gladiator that gets shooting and defending up at the same time. He's already got a great amount of pace, passing's great, dribbling's phenomenal, so you just need that and you're absolutely golden with him. But I don't think he takes that Hullet. I think this Hullet is here to stay still. As a centre mid, I would rock him absolutely every single time personally. And then also, you've got a Jude Bellingham. Number one, it's just an easy one in my opinion. He is one of the best centre mids I've played with this year. He is what everybody wants. He's quick, he's got the great agility on him, his defending's good, his physical's good, and he's got an absolute rocket as well. He is the perfect box-to-box in this game right now. So then we have the cams. Now, it's impressive, but I must admit, like we've said with the DMs, unless you're playing them striker, if you've got maybe a cam position role, so you got like Lam, Ram and Cam, and you're kind of utilising them as strikers as well, I don't see the necessary need to have cams in my personal formation. I'm very balanced in terms of the midfield rock up and then they drop back. It's kind of them going up and down. So a box-to-box suits me more than a cam or a CDM in that sense. But I do think Musiala puts in an absolute shift. 99 on that dribbling is just stunning. And I think he's definitely deserving of at least a mention here. We then have Kevin De Bruyne. Now, you could argue between these two personally because they are two different styles. De Bruyne is passing orientated, Musiala is pace and dribbling orientated. Both of them can shoot, both of them can pass, but definitely De Bruyne onto a kind of higher level, kind of like Busquets. He is that just level inclined where passing is just easy for him. So if you are looking for your dribbling, pace sort of Ram sort of cam, then you obviously were going to go for someone like a Musiala. If you're looking for a centre, a magician, a tactician, somebody to pass that midfield through, De Bruyne's always going to be the shout there. We then have Ronaldinho, I think is a bit of both to be honest, and that's kind of why I like him in here. In terms of left wing, I think he's actually taken out a little bit. Now, we do have a Ronaldinho coming with the greats of the game, thank God, because I thought they were going to just forget about him, but that's going to be a next level card. I can imagine there's going to be a lot of 97s going around, especially in that top era, like Cruyff's due one. He's got to be 98 at a minimum, meaning he's got to be 99 at a minimum, because Netherlands, I think, have 2 goals, so that should take him up one, unless they reset it for the knockout stages. I don't know. But Ronaldinho comes in there. We then have Zidane. Think he's still absolutely wonderful to try and go for. Olmo, very impressed by this card. Now, I kind of looked at him to start with and thought, 96, okay, he's going to be one of them ones where they've just bumped the rating up. But look at the stats. Great pace, shooting's unbelievable, solid passing, amazing dribbling. And then the physicality is kind of the weaker portion, which is the case for a lot of cams. Like we don't see very, very high physical. Like it's in the 80s, so he is a little bit lower than the average, but I think most definitely he puts in an absolute shift and can still go up in rating as well. Xavi Simons, beautiful cam as well, and you could argue there is a right wing in him, to be honest, and that is always going to be an argument, but I do like him in that cam role as well, mainly that agility balance. He's coming in at 5'10", he's got a bit of physicality in him, mainly the aggression, which I like in the middle, and I do think there is better right wings out there, but he's the sort of cam that can really push up and get them shots off outside of the box as well. We move into a Hadji. I think this is a wonderful card. It's a shame that Romania really just didn't get off the mark in terms of getting him his full upgrade. I don't know how many goals they've truly scored, so they have got their final match today, so whether we see anything from them, that could hopefully be the big one for them. So they did get... no, in fact, actually, I take it back. They've got the 3 goals already, so they only need 1 more. I don't know why. I thought they lost to Belgium. I knew that. I only thought they won 1-0 against Ukraine. Okay, well, I rescind that. He's got 1 chance today against Slovakia. If they can get 1 goal, we get a quadruple playstyle plus for him. That is going to be absolutely massive for this card. We move into a Cole Palmer. I think he's wonderful again into your make your mark. He actually did make your mark for about 20 minutes because that's all he got on the game. But In terms of the card, I think he's a wonderful upgrade. I didn't really like him on right wing from his team of the season. I just felt like he got overshadowed a lot, and the card just really didn't stink. It just stinked of not an upgrade, in my opinion. Whereas this card just feels so much better. Just at that higher rating, it is a good card, in my opinion. Then we obviously have Pele. I don't think there's any list here that can't not have a Pele at the minimum. He, again, is always going to be a threat. One that I don't know if he's getting an upgrade. I don't think I saw his name on the list, but more than likely with everybody that we've got, he's got to be on the list somewhere. And then finally, my favourite at the minute, Verge. I think he's absolutely stunning as a cam. He's got everything you need. Maxed out dribbling, pace at the top level, shooting's there, passing's there. Physicality, it's fair enough, it's not quite as much, but obviously you can go for something that's like a marksman or something, get the shooting maxed out, bit more pace and a bit more physicality, but it absolutely works for him. Power shot, incisive, technical and acrobatic. He's just one of them cards that works every single time and has the ability still to get into that 98, and I don't think, I want to say he needs like 1 assist or 1 goal more to potentially make him into that 98 already. We then move into some of the left wings. We have started with Nico Williams. Now this is what I was saying at the start, and it all depends on what you want in a winger. Now Nico Williams, in terms of stats, is just head and shoulders, like a very, very statted card. Great pace, great dribbling, decent passing, good shooting. But in terms of how he gets down that wing, every single time, he is rapid. He's just a beautiful winger to get down. So I think he definitely is in deserved of the spot. We then have Kvaratskhelia, more of your skillful winger, still incredibly quick. Most of the wingers nowadays have at least 95 and above pace. Like, most of them are maxed out, to be fair, or they might have like maxed out acceleration, 96 sprint speed or something stupid like that. But in terms of Kvaratskhelia, a stunning card. It's just a shame, unfortunately, Georgia just couldn't get out the running. So he will stay at this level, but he definitely is still worth a look in at a minimum. We have Diaz as the SBC. Stunning card. Very, very nice. I loved his previous version. I think it kind of started off with the road to the knockout, where it didn't have a playstyle plus, so you could kind of understand. But once he started to get cards away from it, the fantasy, then into the team of the season moments, that was when you knew Diaz was definitely coming with a big upgrade. 890k, and hopefully they do prove us right in the Copa America. We have Garnacho, who I think is just that slightly bit better, because I do think when it comes to Garnacho, even though I think stats-wise Diaz is better in the aspects, I think Garnacho just adds that little bit more. Now, when it comes to the playstyle pluses, the press proven is always nice, but it's not necessarily my favourite on the wing. I like the finesse shot, both of them have got it. The rapid plus, both of them have got it. And then Garnacho with the incisive. Trickster I'm not a big fan of, so it could be like Trickster for press proven, but having the incisive as well is just what takes him just that little bit over, and potentially a bigger shout of actually going through with the upgrade as well. Martinelli, think he's a stunning card. Loved his winter wild card. I thought with the upgrade for him, he had to come with some sort of big upgrade, and they definitely did that for him. We then have Chiesa, who at the start of looking at him, I was like, oh, okay, so it's going to be like maybe a mil, maybe a bit under. Start off at like 2.5 mil. I don't know if he's gone back up now, but still has the chance for more upgrades, which is just incredible in himself. He's now 1.9 mil still. He will obviously go through to the round of 16s. I don't know who Italy have got, but what a card. Maxed out dribbling, maxed out pace, shooting wise is nearly there, passing's nearly there, and an incredible amount of physicality as well. There is not much this card can't do, and if Italy do go far in this tournament, it's going to be a very interesting card to see by the end of it. And then obviously we go into the top boys that I personally just think are more body type orientated, like Virgil, Vinny, Neymar are obviously two of the most sensational dribblers you'll get on the game, and this is where my preference comes in. Like, I think there is always an argument. Chiesa is better than Vinny. Martinelli, pace-wise, Garnacho, Diaz. There is always that argument, because technically they are all maxed out pace, so nobody is technically quicker than the other, so that can't be the argument. Whereas then it goes down to dribbling, shooting, passing. What's the preference? For me, going in on goal, the left and right wing really pushing in to score as well. I think Vinny and Neymar, for me, do that the best. But there is still two above him. I think Leao, even arguably you could put him at striker. If we're going to put him in left wing for now, is one of the best. Not the best, because I do think there's one man that does hold that title at the minute and still waiting on his first upgrade after the draw the other day, and that is Rivaldo. He is unbelievable. Now, I am hoping for the 4 goals, because naturally that should come over the next kind of like game or two. I really want rapid on him, but I don't know if they're going to do that with the technical. The rapid finesse playstyle plus kind of partnership would work really well. The technical would just add another kind of running element, and then the dead ball is going to be great for the free kicks outside the box. But what a truly good card this is. We knew from the start of seeing him he was going to be up there. Now, I do think Ronaldinho will definitely take his spot back. I don't know what rating is going to be. I can imagine probably 97 as well, but he's going to be completely extinct for a while. So we have got a long time to wait. And then we have the right wings. So we start off with Felipe Anderson. I thought this card was actually great value and also a very, very good card. Now, when you get to the bottom end of right wings, I must admit, not as impressive. And I could see why people maybe switch out for a Cam, maybe switch out for just a solid centre-mid partnership and don't have a left wing, right wing. Maybe they have like 3 centre mids, a Cam and 2 strikers instead. Because if you can't afford the best, you get in a very good card, but he's definitely not like a Rivaldo, a Leao. It just isn't really happening. We have Jairzinho as a Galazzo. Don't think he's been announced to come, which is fair enough because there's probably more than enough Brazilians with Ronaldinho and also Ronaldo coming, as well as then having Rivaldo already. So they can't obviously favour one or the other, but I still think he's a very decent card if you've got him. We have Team of the Season Salah, very nice card in himself. I think he definitely kind of just holds his own because of the weight of the card also. Decent playstyle pluses, the technical finesse into the first touch, never going to be too much of an issue. But then we move on to a few of the newer cards. I think Rafinha with the 4-5, very, very nice upgrade in himself. Maxed out pace, dribbling's up there, shooting's up there, passing's at that level. Very, very nice upgrade. Into Barcola, who has still got the chance to go up again. I think the next one, they've still got to win the 3 matches, so they've drew 2. So they've technically got to win the round of 16 and the quarters, and he'd get a double upgrade. Well, he'd get a single upgrade and an extra playstyle plus for that. So you'd look at a 96 quadruple playstyle plus. That would be very interesting for him because stat-wise is already at that level. We have Team of the Season Hansen, one of my favourites throughout this year. Again, look at them stats. Like, that's a Team of the Season right there. 97 rated, nearly maxed out on everything. So I think that for me, the Finesse Rapid Plus is my favourite pairing for anybody that's going to cut in on the wing, and she does it incredibly. But then we move on to some of the big ones. We have Rodrigo, we have Doku, we have Saka, and we also have Dembele. Now, there's arguments between all of them. I personally really rate Dembele in this. I think he's number 1. It can be a little bit put down in the list because of that whole EA rubbish red picks. So most people, if you did it in that time, have a Team of the Season red Dembele, which is a pain to go against. But we do put Saka in there. Doku's got a cracking upgrade. Maxed on the dribbling and pace. Shooting's looking very good. Very good physicality as well on him. He is well on his way. If he manages to go through tonight and gets the upgrade as well, maybe he gets a goal or 2, then that would be a sensational card going forward. And then obviously Rodrigo is always in with a shout. He's always been named that kind of like B-Tech Vinny, but he's really proven himself in this game to be a phenomenal asset on that right wing. And then we move on to the strikers. So, number 10 is going to come in as Drogba. Now, there is going to be a lot of people that think Drogba should be in that at least top 5 and above slot. But I do think the striker's above him. I don't think I'd choose one person. I don't think I'd go with Drogba over one of these players. And I think that one may be kind of a bit biased, but I do think from using him, is just exceptional. Now, Drogba is the pinnacle of an SBC. He was an absolute must-do regardless. As an SBC, an obtainable card, not through possibility packs, is the best striker in the game. Like, 100%, you can't compare him to a Team of the Season Mbappe because the likely chance of you getting Mbappe is 0.001% until the end of the game, obviously. Drogba was in an SBC. You can 100% guarantee you could get him done. Next up is going to be Rasmus, and with Rasmus, because I know there's always going to be arguments now like, oh, how can you put Rasmus above Drogba? If you've used him, you truly know how good this card is. They spoilt him with this upgrade. They knew that maybe Denmark doesn't go massively far. Maybe they don't go past like the quarterfinals, the semi-finals. There's a potential, but the chances are slim. You've got 97 pace, 97 on the finishing and shot power, decent passing for a striker, nothing crazy, decent dribbling, great physicality. He's also got the quadruple playstyle plus, rapid, power shot, chip shot and finesse, fantastic, and a 5-5. I mean, that is a striker, 100%. We then run through the list. We have got Messi, we've got Haaland, we've got Cruyff, we've got CR7, we've got Di Natale. Now, I would take all of them over Drogba in my opinion. All of them are coming in at an expensive price. I think that there is very little above below a mil. I don't even think anybody is below a mil in this list because they are a position of power. Everybody pays for the striker. Like if you was to look at it, you have got... and to be fair, I have missed out one player after this, to be honest. So there's always arguments there. I'll let you know who it is. You've got Messi at 2.5. You have CR7 at 3.3. 2.4 for Cruyff. You have 2.2 for Haaland. And I think Di Natale's 1.7 as well. I mean, it speaks volumes. Now, Cruyff is due the upgrade. I don't know where they actually upgrade him because he's got to be 98 at the minimum because... if he's a great to the game, he should have the ability of a 1 upgrade, depending on if they reset the great to the game. So they only get the upgrade if they win the next match, which I can see possible, because otherwise he goes straight to 99. Now, if they're going to do that, I'll absolutely take it. I think Netherlands have already got, I'm pretty sure already have got the 2 goals. I'm pretty sure they got the 2 goals in the last match. Yeah, two against Austria. They did lose, but they're still through on third, so, or should be still through on third. They managed to score 2 against Poland, so if it comes to it, they've already got the 4. He should be a quadruple playstyle plus at 99. Now, if that is true, that means he would be the first 99 in the game, and that would be incredible. Ronaldo, I do think, is just that sort of guy. He's like Mbappe. His body type is absolutely perfect for this. Di Natale, like Capdevia, needed the upgrade, got the upgrade, conquered the upgrade. Then we also have Dalglish. I don't think there's any arguments here. He is stunning. A stunning upgrade. He's now coming in still as the joint highest rated card on the game at 3.58 mil. Now, if you've ever played with him, if you've given him a go, he's just unbelievable. His dribbling is precise, it's quick, it's reactive. His shooting is better than the rest. His pace is absolutely up there. And obviously, it could have been due the other upgrade to get the quadruple, but Scotland unfortunately fumbled the bag for that one. It is what it is, but they did manage to get the 2 to at least make him into that 98. And the joint second highest rated card has got to be Puskás. Now, technically he's not available, but I don't think you need to be a genius to realise how truly good this card will be. Now, Hungary did do incredibly on that final match. He's got the quadruple playstyle plus, he's got the 98. Everybody is going to get this card if you finish that level 35 or whatever it is. Make sure you get that done because this card is going to be everywhere. But the number 1 slot for me always has to be Mbappe. Mbappe is GOAT, Mbappe is life when it comes to a striker. There is not going to be one better card, even if you put every other striker in the game at 99. Mbappe's body type is just the best. It's how it works. It's how it will always work. Until Mbappe goes, there'll always be another star that comes through. If it's not a Vinny, it'd be a Bellingham. If it's not a Haaland, it would be a Harry Kane. There's always one person who will dictate the striking role. We had 2 of them for like 10 years. We've got Mbappe, the one of them that does reflect in his price range, which is just immense at 6.6 mil. But let me know down below what you think. And I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.